In a small village, there lived a wise Zen master whose teachings were known far and wide. His wisdom had guided many villagers through the challenges of life. One day, a young student approached the master, his heart heavy with guilt. He had stolen a small amount of rice from the village store, driven by a moment of weakness and fear of hunger. Now the guilt was consuming him, and he didn't know what to do. "Master," the student began, his voice trembling, "I have done something terrible. I stole some rice from the store. I was so afraid of going hungry, but now I am even more afraid of what will happen if the storekeeper finds out. What should I do?" The master, who was sitting under a large cherry tree, smiled gently at the troubled young man. "My dear student," he said, "honesty is the simplest and most direct path to inner peace. The weight of your dishonesty is like a heavy stone that you carry on your back. It will continue to burden you more than any punishment you fear. To find peace, you must return what you have taken." The student hesitated. His mind was filled with fear of being caught, of being punished, and of what others would think of him. "But master," he said, "what if the storekeeper is angry? What if I am shamed or punished?" The master remained calm, his gaze steady and reassuring. "Fear is a shadow that only grows larger the more you run from it," he said. "But when you face it, you will find that it is not as frightening as it seems. The storekeeper may be angry, but what is more important is that you free yourself from the burden of dishonesty. True courage lies not in avoiding consequences, but in accepting responsibility." The young student listened to the master's words, feeling a deep sense of relief washing over him. He knew what he had to do. Early the next morning, he made his way to the village store. The walk felt like the longest journey of his life, with every step weighed down by the fear of the unknown. When he arrived at the store, he approached the storekeeper, his heart pounding in his chest. "Sir," he began, his voice shaky but determined, "I need to confess something. I took some rice from your store without paying for it. I was desperate and afraid, but I realize now that what I did was wrong. I want to return the rice or pay for it." The storekeeper, a kind and understanding man, looked at the young student with surprise. After a moment of silence, he smiled warmly. "You've shown great courage today by coming forward," the storekeeper said. "Your honesty is worth more than the rice you took. Thank you for being truthful." The student felt a great weight lift off his shoulders. In that moment, he realized that honesty not only brought peace to his own heart, but also built trust and respect with others. The fear that had once seemed so overwhelming had disappeared, replaced by a sense of liberation and connection. The student returned to the Zen master, who was meditating by the river. "Master," the student said, "you were right. By facing my fear and being honest, I feel lighter, freer. I understand now that honesty is not just about doing what's right. It's about freeing oneself from the chains of guilt and fear." The Zen master nodded approvingly. "Remember this lesson well," he said. "Honesty is a powerful force. It may be difficult to embrace at times, but it leads to peace, trust, and true happiness. And it is in these moments of truth that we grow and find our true selves." From that day forward, the young student lived his life guided by the principle of honesty. He discovered that each act of truthfulness brought him closer to a life of peace and fulfillment. And so, he spread the wisdom he had learned, helping others to understand that honesty is the key to living a life free from the burdens of fear and guilt. Honesty is the foundation of respect. Respect is a superpower. It increases your value. People listen to you. When you are respected, watch this video on how to become a respectful person.